Hello St Alberts. This morning I'm going to be showing you how to make some courgette and leek soup with goat's cheese if you would like that. So when I'm making soup I always do the same thing. Look in the fridge to see what vegetables need to be used up. So let's take a look. Now you're probably too young to remember this, but there used to be a programme on MTV called MTV Cribs, and you were allowed to look inside a celebrity's fridge, so it told you a little bit more about them. Unfortunately, I'm not a celebrity, nor do I have anything that interesting, but let's see what I've got in the veggie box that needs used up. So I've got some celery there, leeks, that's what I want, and I think there's more leeks on the downstairs drawer. Yes, okay, so I'm going to take some leeks out, put them over here beside my cooking equipment, and courgettes as well. Okay, and let's see what the recipe tells me to do. Usually I always use one online called BBC Good Food. I really like it because you can just enter ingredients and then it gives you a recipe, which I find super helpful. So let's have a wee look. Okay, it says here that I need 400 grams of leeks and 450 grams of courgettes. So what I usually do is I use my little scale. I'm just going to close that fridge because otherwise the food will go off. Let's see. So my scale over here, if I click 0 on the scale, it should measure in, oh that's lbs, we don't want that. Let's change the unit to grams. Cool, so that should be on 0. How much did I say again? 400 grams of leek. So that little leek is only 70. Let's hope that this is about 400. So that's 191 with that one. How about this one? Yes, okay, 425. I think I'm just going to use all of them because I'm a bit crazy like that. Okay, so 400 grams of leeks ready to go. What about the courgettes? I need 450 grams of courgette. Well, the pack says 325 grams, so I might just add more leek and less courgette. And maybe, just for a bit of fun as well, to make up for that, I'll add a couple of celery sticks, because I think that'll go quite nicely together. Okay, right. Another thing that I recommend doing, because most soups require you to add stock, is to boil a kettle while you get your chopping done, because that's really important. So I will boil my kettle and then I will reconvene the video once I've done my chopping. Cool. So I have washed all of the ingredients and now I'm just starting to chop off the ends. So in celery you usually have quite a white bit. You just chop that bit off and the part at the other side, okay, and they can just go in the food bin. Same with this. The recipe says courgettes sliced. It doesn't say like thinly sliced or anything, so I can just go for that. Courgette sliced. How does it say to do the leeks? Well washed and sliced. Okay, well they've been well washed. So pretty easy and straightforward. Right, so I'll just continue doing that and I'll update you in a wee minute. Cool, okay, so I've finished chopping. Just to let you know that I put all of my waste inside one of these wee green bins. They don't always smell the freshest, but you can put these in the brown bin in your garden and it just helps to make compost, which is really good actually. So I always use that. So I've measured out some spinach as well. That was also in the recipe. It doesn't look like normal spinach, it's frozen spinach, but it's just as good because you're going to heat it up anyway. So all good. Now it tells me on my recipe, which I will share with you online, that I do need 1 litre of stock. So I just use a wee veggie stock cube like this and I'm going to pour 1 litre in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is turn my heat on. So I'm just going to turn this on here and it says to put 1 tablespoon of rapeseed oil, which is different from olive oil. It's got a different taste, I suppose, but it's still really nice. So it says that you need 1 tablespoon of that. Usually I just kind of do it a bit slapdash. That's about 1 tablespoon. So go for that. And then hopefully my computer's not died. No, it hasn't. It tells me heat the oil in a large pan and fry the leeks for a few minutes. So I'm going to let that oil heat up a wee bit. Get a stirrer for the leeks and then I'll pop them in. Cool. Right, let's pop these leeks in then. So usually I just take my chopping board over and just scrape the leeks in. If the oil's hot, you should hear them kind of frying already, which is a good thing. You don't want to burn them though, so let's not put it up too hot. Maybe if you've got, like I have, a gas heater, then maybe like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 in terms of heat. Slightly more than a simmer if you've got the real thing. So, just going to pop them in, give them a good stir so that the oil gets in about all of the leeks. Cool. So it says fry for a few minutes to soften, so I'm just going to let them do that. After that, I'm going to add the courgettes and then cover the pan and cook it for 5 minutes more. Okay? So the leeks are in. I'm just going to put my extractor fan on because it's important that all that steam gets absorbed. And now I'm just going to add the courgettes to the mix. So if I add the courgettes, you cover the pan and then cook for 5 minutes. Gotcha? Okie dokie, so we're going to take the lid off the pan, okay, which will be nice and like juicy inside. Hopefully I'm just going to give those things a wee stir to make sure they're not stuck. Whoa, my camera is all fuzzing up. Make sure they're not stuck to the bottom. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 1 litre, 1000 millilitres of stock, and I'm going to add that to my soup. And then once I've added it, give it a give it a final stir and cover for 7 minutes. Okay, so make sure all that stock goes in. Give it a good stir to make sure that all of the veggies are covered. Okay, cover. And 7 minutes on the clock. Okay, cool. That has been 7 minutes. So I'm just going to take this off. Just watch because those little water droplets can be very, very hot. And then the next instruction is to add the spinach and cover and cook for 5 minutes more. I'm just going to add this frozen spinach now. It might take slightly longer because it's not the spinach leaves, but we shall see. I'm just going to dunk them so that they are completely covered by the stock, and hopefully that means that they will cook and wilt a little bit faster. So dunk them, take any excess off, pop my lid back on and give that 5 mins. Rightio, so all the spinach has managed to wilt. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off the heat. Okay, so turn that right down, move the pan to the side so that it's no more, or it's not cooking anymore. And I've got myself a hand blender. Okay, you've got to be very careful because this is an electric item in the kitchen, so make sure there's no water lying around or any liquids. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blitz the soup. So, now this is quite hot, so I'd maybe wait for like 2 minutes for the soup to cool down. As you can see, there's still steam coming from that. So just wait for it to cool down and then you can blitz it with the hand blender. Okay, so you just kind of, it's like a suction cup. I quite like it. Quite a satisfying noise. I mean, this looks very healthy, doesn't it? Who knew we were so healthy? Okay, so keep blitzing until you get rid of all the big bits. No one likes a big lump in their soup. Okay, so once you blitz the soup with all the ingredients inside, looks very green, doesn't it? We're going to add the goat's cheese. So that's, I think it's 150 grams of goat's cheese that's softened, hopefully, because it's been out of the fridge for a little while. So you add your goat's cheese, and I didn't have any basil because the recipe said 15 grams of basil. So I added another herb and went for parsley instead. So pop that in there too. And then you give it a second blitz. I always suggest seasoning your soup as well. So you should maybe add a wee bit of salt and pepper for taste, and then give it one final blitz. Pepper. You can always add more. once it's had its second round of blitzing. Okay, so give this a go. It's very, hopefully this goat cheese makes it a wee bit creamier. If you feel the need to add some milk or cream, you can do that too. This will give you lots of muscles, I think. So we'll give that a good blitz. And then it says to serve it along with a seed selection. It actually said omega-3 seed mix. Now I just went into the cupboard and got whatever seeds I could find. So I've got some pumpkin seeds in there, some golden linseed and some sunflower seeds. And when I serve it, I'm just going to sprinkle them on the top. Good luck and send me some pictures if you manage to create it yourselves. Thanks!